To get what you want, you must deserve what you want. Now, there's this quote that I heard the other day that really spoke to me, that changed my perspective on life. I heard it from Elisha Long, and he said, "The world never rewards undeserving people." The problem with society today is that everybody thinks that they don't deserve to suffer. There's a formula that these types of people follow. Number one, they complain about their situation. Number two, they're never aware of their unhealthy habits. Number three, they ignore any signs that point to their unhealthy habits. And number four, if they eventually become aware, they always place blame on either someone, something, or some event for the reason why they're in the situation that they're in. Look, my brother, to achieve different results, you can't keep doing the same things. You gotta become unrecognizable. Reinvent, reimagine, redefine yourself and who you are. These last few years, even myself, I've had to cut out certain things in my life that no longer serve me. And I'm continuing to do this. I'm trying to become more and more self-aware, adjust, adapt along the way, along my journey. Owning up to your struggles, your addictions, the things that keep you from progressing. It can be hard, but not nearly as hard as spending your whole life running from them. When you don't own up, you are literally empowering people and events to shape your life. You end up bitter, pointing the finger and blaming everything and everyone. It's the world's fault. It's my parents' fault. I have social anxiety, so therefore that's why I have no friends. I don't have the resources to get my business up and off the ground. My ex cheated on me, therefore now I don't trust women. Now look, these are all valid points, 100%, but you can't get stuck in this never-ending loop of blame. If you do, you'll just end up like the rest of the 95% of people out there. You need to dig deep and analyze what is holding you back. Mark Manson talks about minimal viable actions, basically meaning what small, tiny things can you do right now in your life, in this very moment, that will instantly change your life for the better. And once you figure that out and you immediately take action, this will cause a chain reaction for the rest of your life. Now, of course, everyone's got their own story, their own struggles, their own little destructive habits that they do. So for today's video, I'm gonna point out and expose my 4 most unhealthiest habits that I got rid of, and how by doing that, how it's completely transformed my life. And whether you deal with these things or not, I really think that you're gonna connect with this video and get some good value out of it. So kicking it off with number 1, giving the enemy my listening ear. Now, who's the enemy? Basically, it's anything or anyone whose words are constantly trying to veer me off track. Now, you might be sitting here already with someone in your own mind, someone who's always constantly tearing you down, right? Maybe it's a sibling, maybe it's a parent, maybe a hater, always leaving hate comments. Maybe it's Satan, or maybe it's you. Maybe you are your own worst enemy. Sometimes we like to tear ourselves down with pessimistic thoughts. Sometimes we even point the finger at the devil and say, it's him, he's the one who's making me sad and depressed. And it's like, no, bro, that's just your own stinking thinking. See, to control your life, you need to control what you are giving your attention to. Now, for me, on a personal note, one of my biggest struggles has always been giving my attention to negative people and allowing their opinions to live rent-free in my head. I just told you guys in a video like a couple months back, I said that, there was a time period in my life where I would look through all the comments in my videos, and what would I do? I would always skip past all the 95% of all the good ones, and I would only look at the negative ones, right? The hateful comments. I would literally go out searching for that, and then I would get stuck on what they said all day long. Now check this out. On another note, just real quick, kind of funny story. Within this last year, I don't know what it is, but for some reason, I've been getting all these spam phone calls on my phone. And I don't know how they got my number, but anyways, you know what I do? Anytime they call me, I answer the phone, and the first thing I do, I press mute. And then I let it sit there. This is Ryan with the Financial Loan Center, and I'm running this survey and blah, 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 blah. Hello? Just the other day too, I actually had some guy threaten me, bro. And he said if I didn't pay him a certain amount of money that he's gonna come after me and do this, and that. I put it on mute. A couple seconds go by. And this happens every single time. I ignore them, let them talk, and then what do? After 20 seconds or so, they just hang up and move on. It's like, hey, you wanna waste my time, bro? Nah, you're getting muted. And the funny thing about this is that I just realized this. It's so easy for me to mute my enemies who call me up on the phone. But when it comes to real life, when it comes to those hate comments, it's a whole different ballgame now. Not so easy, right? I'm sitting here spending all this precious time trying to get back at these haters, who a majority of them are probably just little lazy ass 12-year-olds sitting behind a computer screen in their bedroom, scratching their ass and stuffing their face with Cheez-Its, right? So what I'm trying to say here is, hey, it's time to ignore the enemy. Stop giving him our listening ear. Yeah, I hear you talking, hear you squawking, but hey, mute. I ain't responding. Now, quick story. I don't mean to get too religious on you. If you want to skip to number 2, you can go ahead and do so. But this story's so good, this analogy, and I think that you're really going to connect with it. So in Mark chapter 30, there was a man named Jairus who came to Jesus and was crying to him about his 12-year-old daughter who was dying. And Jesus' response to him was a little odd. He said, "Don't be afraid, just believe." See, it wasn't that Jesus didn't hear what the man was going through. It's just that he didn't react to it. Instead, he said, "Just believe." And when Jesus said, "Oh, the child isn't dead, she's just sleeping," guess what all the people around him started doing? They started laughing at him. And so what did Jesus do? He grabbed the little girl by the hand and he told her, he said, "Little girl, I say to you, get up." And immediately the girl stood up and started walking around, and everyone around was astonished. So hey, the whole moral of this story is that even when haters talk, even when they laugh at you, God's grabbing you by the hand, telling you, "Hey, young man, I say to you, it's time to get up." Number 2, smoking weed. Now, growing up, I was somewhat straight edge, I guess you could say. I had a few cigars. I would drink maybe 2 or 3 times a year, just on special occasions. Actually, I still do that, just here and there with family or something like that. But there was a time in my marriage about 4 years ago where, I don't know, something just kind of got in me and I wanted to get a little wild. So Bree and I, we actually decided to start smoking weed together. And it's funny because people would always tell me, "Oh, you know, Dre, it's good for you, it's healthy, it's got antioxidants, it helps you feel relaxed." Right? I even had friends tell me, "Oh, it actually helps me, helps me stay focused." Yeah. BS. And this sounded good to me. Like, I started to subscribe to this idea. I even started telling my friends, it's not even that bad, it's healthier than me drinking alcohol. It's healthier eating a box of Oreos, right? Okay, maybe so. But what wasn't healthy was the chain reaction that it started to cause. People always say that, "Oh, you can't get addicted to weed," but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, I may have not been addicted to it, but it sure as hell intensified all my other addictions that I was dealing with at that time. My addiction with prawn, my addiction with laziness, I guess you could say. And the more I smoked, the more lazy I became, the more lustful I became. Not only that, the more I smoked, the less I even cared that I was doing those things. I could sin all I want and I had no conviction about it. That's actually why I started to enjoy it. I could sin and sin and sin and sin, and I didn't even feel bad. It just kept adding to the pleasure. And I had to ask myself, I had to be real, and I had to say, you know what? These people that are telling me that it's okay to smoke and that it's actually good for you, are they in the position that I ultimately want to be in? And I know all these little weasel guys are gonna come out right now and be like, "Oh, Jay, but I see all these celebrities and all these influencers who make all this money and have all this success. Their life is great and they smoke weed." Yeah, but do you really know what their life is like behind the scenes, behind the IG highlights? You could have a lot of money, but a lot of problems. My life at this time, it seemed fun, it seemed wild. I was smoking with my wife, we were watching a lot of prawn together. I was immersed into all my addictions, didn't feel bad whatsoever, but was I really living a fulfilling life? Hell no, bro. All I was doing was masking my pain, constantly just trying to escape. Number 3, mindless media consumption. Now, I know this may sound a little cliche, but hey, we all deal with this if we're being honest. I've noticed over the last handful of years, my attention span has completely just plummeted. Last year, I couldn't even watch a movie without pulling out my phone every 10 minutes to start scrolling. I noticed while I create these videos even, like when I'm scripting, I'll be scripting for like an hour or 2, and then I'll be doing research off to the side, trying to come up with more ideas. I'll be watching YouTube videos, looking at different blogs. I'll be on Instagram, looking at like my favorite motivation and inspirational accounts. I'll be looking through all my saved content on my collection, and then all of a sudden, 10-20 minutes goes by and I find myself on some Lord of the Rings fan account looking at memes of Frodo. It's wild, bro. Scientists have even said that the attention span of a goldfish is 9 seconds, while us humans come in at a measly 8 seconds. So we literally have the attention span of a goldfish. Not even a goldfish. It's frustrating, bro. I mean, think about it. How many times are you in a conversation with somebody and you can tell their mind's just not there? They're not even listening. They're thinking about something else. And their excuse will be, "Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I just have ADHD." And it's like, no, bro, that's not it. Your attention span just sucks because you've abused it by constantly scrolling and scrolling and scrolling time and time again. We had a member that I was talking to in the Discord yesterday. His name was Leo, and he asked me some advice on this. How do I increase my attention span. And the first thing I said was, hey, you need to reduce your screen time. One thing I told them that I've been doing for the last 2 weeks actually is I've been literally training myself to enjoy doing absolutely nothing. And I can tell you what, bro, I really am truly enjoying just doing absolutely nothing. I'll wake up every morning. I've been doing this consistently every single day. And I'll make my cup of coffee for Brie and I, and then I'll take my phone, I'll keep it inside, and then I'll go outside my patio and I'll just sit there for a good 20, 30 minutes doing absolutely nothing. And it's so nice, bro. It's the most peaceful, most cathartic part of my day. I'll watch the birds go by. There's actually my neighbors, they're actually in their palm tree, there's these birds building a nest, so I've been watching them build that thing every day. That's kind of cool. And then I've been just enjoying God's presence. I've been enjoying the breeze hit my face. I'll do my Wim Hof exercises during this time. I'll do some thankful thoughts. I'll do some prayers. And it honestly feels like I'm on vacation, like I'm in this state of nirvana. And this has significantly increased my attention span because I'm not as easily bored as I used to be. Like the smallest little, most insignificant things intrigue me, just like the way it should, bro. Like that's the way God programmed us. We weren't programmed to be constantly just stimulated. Like we were supposed to enjoy just relaxing, not doing anything, enjoying the outdoors, enjoying even just sitting next to your friend, next to your spouse. That type of stuff is supposed to give us fulfillment. And so by me starting to remove all these addictive substances and removing all these constant dopamine spikes, now I'm able to just enjoy those regular mundane things that most people think are boring. I feel like everything's starting to go back and starting to regulate back to its like natural organic state. And by the way, I'm gonna be doing some similar stuff to this in the new upcoming 21-day Wake Up O Sleeper Challenge. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for that. And the last one, number 4, procrastination. Now, you know how long it took me to figure out how to not procrastinate? It's taken me my whole life to now figure this out. Now this might work for you, might not, just being real. It's worked for me. But the best way to stop procrastinating is to just relax. Just chill. Maybe go on vacation. I know that's probably not what you were expecting me to say, but I know for me, you know the reason why I tend to procrastinate sometimes is because the work that I know I need to do is just, it's too overwhelming. And then my brain starts to freak out. I become like a deer in headlights and I stall. And I've noticed this, bro. It's been a constant pattern in my life that the times where I procrastinate the most are the same times where I'm just overworked, exhausted. A few weeks ago, actually, I was getting myself so worked up because I'm trying to work on this program. I'm trying to get it out for you guys. And then I'm trying to come out with these videos as well. And then I have some other projects that I'm working on. And I was just getting so overworked, so exhausted, so stressed out, trying to stick to my schedule and everything else. And so I went to Brie about it. And she told me, hey, you know what? Let's just take a time out. Let's go on vacation. Let's go chill out and relax a little bit. Your program will come out when it needs to, even if it takes till the end of the year. Obviously, I'm not gonna take to the end of the year, but you know, she was just letting me know and giving me that assurance that, hey, everything's okay. Let's chill out for a little bit. And so we went to Florida for like 5 days, and then when I came home, I took like an extra like 3 days off as well. And guess what happened, bro? I got rejuvenated. My stomach issues, all that pain went away. And then I dove fully back into my work and started just knocking out videos. I felt fired up again, bro, just super motivated, super pumped. I had no procrastination in me whatsoever. And so sometimes that's all it is, bro. Just chilling out and just taking a breather. So hey, with that said, my brother, hope you enjoyed today's video. Please give it a nice big thumbs up. Hit the notifications button to be informed when I drop new content. And check out this video right here. It's a powerful one. And I'll catch you on the next vid. Peace always.